for a little bit, and then soon, hey, what's going on, everybody? We've just seen the results. Well, not just seen the results because it's been a little bit of time, but we wanted to give some time to Clara, Tvan, and Polly, who were talking about the results for Estonia, which came in like literally 5 minutes before we got the results for Denmark. But nonetheless, we have a winner from Dansk Melodi Grand Prix, and it is Jess.
It's Fyr Flamme.
And the song is
With
called...
the name of the song that I cannot pronounce.
Well, yeah, this is kind of the situation that we're in. Maybe, Úlfar, maybe you can help us out because you're from Iceland. I know that there's some intelligibility between the Scandinavian countries. So how would you pronounce the title of this song?
I think it is pronounced Eurovoxx på hinanden. I think Eurovoxx på hinanden.
Okay, so you see it's a breeze. Like anybody can say that, right?
Yeah. No, I actually used to live in Denmark for years, so I somehow can manage to understand Danish a little bit, but it's far away from Icelandic, really.
I hear this a lot about Danish in particular when compared to some of the other Scandinavian countries. More on that later. Let's first say hello to some people. Let's say hello to Sarah O'Halloran, who is literally a trooper and is going to be like in all of our lives forevermore. What else are you saying? Eurovision hasn't sent a song fully in Danish in ages. And Lasse Virdane says 24 years to be exact, and they've already said that that they won't translate it. Fascinating. So we were talking about this a little bit before, Jess, and I guess that this is the last time that they would have sent a song in Danish would have been when they were required to, when the rule about languages was put in place.
Yeah, so that was all the way back in 1997.
Yeah.
And ever since the language rule came in 99, they've always had all in English, except for Leonora.
Yes, which was a little bit of a mix of languages. I've got dogs running in from their walk right now, as usually is the case around this time when we do live. Latvian is saying, yes, Danish Freddie Mercury minus mustache one. We've got Evil Smile DK saying that enjoying that one. Michael Forbes saying hello to Nicola as well. Sarah Halloran is reminding us also of Leonora singing that mix of languages. Isi Manga says that they didn't expect this song to win.
Neither did I.
Kovri, you're in the wrong show, but I'm glad to know that you enjoyed Cece. I really liked Cece's performance, and I think that she had a better song at the end of the day. Dreadnoks. So we will talk about this. First, we want to talk a little bit about the winner, because I'm sure that a lot of people want to discuss this thing that never happened. Let's go to you, Úlfar. What do you think of this song?
I actually really like the song, so I'm ecstatic that it...
Oh no, we're having okay. We were having some issues with Úlfar's connection, so hopefully he'll come back. Let's see what some of you guys are saying. I saw comments about Nicola. Oh, okay, Úlfar, you're back. Continue what you were saying about how you enjoy the song.
Yeah, do you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's a total banger, and I think it will be really popular in bars and clubs. So, and I also really appreciated that it's in Danish, and they will be having it in Danish. So yeah, I really like the song.
It's great to see, people embracing languages. And I know that we've seen a real interest in, sending more native languages after Salvador Sobral. I believe that, people were looking at the statistics of overall songs and the languages, and there's been a trend upwards, which has been really nice, because obviously for the last few years, it's been overwhelmingly English. I want to comment on this from Nicola, saying it's borderline dated. It's not borderline dated. It is super dated, and that's kind of what they're going for, right? Like it's 80s disco, a little bit of synth happening in there, but this is totally up your street, isn't it, Jess?
100% yes. It was one of my favorites from the final this year, and okay, maybe with the 80s sound, it kind of comes across as a bit dated, but so what? Who cares? The song is fabulous. It's fun. It's kind of upbeat. It's happy sounding, and it's in Danish, which is really great. So I feel like all of those things outweigh the fact that it's maybe slightly dated.
Yeah, and I mean, I think like ultimately, I'm the kind of person that likes modern sounding songs. I'm okay with something that goes for like a throwback, but ultimately, like it still has to be a good song. It can't. I don't really like when it's a novelty. In this case, like it is kind of verging on that novelty act thing, but it's a good performance. So I'm actually really behind this. And after watching the shows tonight, I think the songs that appeared to be the favorites as far as the fans were concerned didn't really live up to their performances. And I'm thinking of the Cosmic Twins and Emma Nicolene, which it isn't to say that either of them were bad. I think the Cosmic Twins was probably the weaker of the two. But nonetheless, Úlfar, your thoughts on those songs and how they landed with the rest of them?
Yeah, the Cosmic Twins were actually one of my favorites this year, but unfortunately they didn't deliver as I would hope for. So then when I saw the winning song, I actually shifted my opinion, and I'm really glad that they won. So yeah, but I'm a little bit bummed about the Twins because I really like them, and they are fabulous. I mean, I forgive them; they're so cute. So yeah.
The thing that struck me about them was that they've got that like young, fresh pop star look to both of them, and the fact that they're twins is kind of one of those things that helps them stand out. I feel like we'll probably see more from them, whether or not it's in a Eurovision capacity. I can't say, but obviously, they're young guys. They've got their whole careers ahead of them.
Yeah.
Simone Beck is from Denmark, and she says that she actually likes it. And she liked this and Beautiful, which was Jean-Michel's song, who was in the super final or whatever they call that final round. Jess, how did you feel about Jean-Michel?
So I actually had Jean-Michel as my winner, as the winner. Actually, I kind of felt like that was the song that the Danes would more likely go for, because it sounded like a kind of like a very Danish song to me. But I mean, I'm happy for him that he made the super final, because I mean the song is really good and happy and kind of feel good, and I think he had one of the best performances of the night in terms of vocals and staging. It felt like the whole package was there ready to go. So I was surprised that he didn't win, but I'm happy that we have Fyr Flamme because I love it.
Yeah, I when I saw the performance of Jean-Michel, it felt like the kind of full package. Honestly, it felt a little bit like Melody Festivalen to me, which like it's definitely a compliment in some regards, but maybe like not for me. There are certain factors of it that made me not love it, in the sense that it was very polished and quite produced. So I had a feeling that was going to be the one that got chosen, because that seemed to be a little bit more in character for Denmark. But in the end, it actually ended up being Fyr Flamme, which I believe when we translated that was Fire and Flame. Also, one thing I want to mention about this song as well, and maybe Úlfar, maybe you can help me out with anything that you've picked up from the lyrics. But I was looking at a translation of this, and the title is supposed to translate to "practice on each other," and supposedly they're talking about dancing. But obviously, one's mind can go to different places, and maybe there's a bit of a double entendre there. I don't know. Is there anything that you're picking up on, Úlfar?
I think it's something you should interpret yourself. Like it's for the whole audience. It's also for the younger kids, and then they will just think it's just dancing on the dance floor or something. But I think there's a interpretation wise, people might think something else. And I think it's a great lyrics. Actually, it's really well written.
And that's always more interesting than when you're giving us something that's like exactly, it's what it is on what it says on the tin. And I feel like I can say that about some of the internally selected songs that we saw come out this week, but obviously they have their fans as well. Maria is saying that the best song won. Michael Forbes is saying, I agree too. I don't know if it's necessarily the best song, but I feel like it was the best performance, and they had a lot of charisma, and it feels like a deserved winner, and I'm definitely not mad about it, as you can see. Last Weird Dance is saying, I'm just welcoming the hate here. This wasn't Denmark's year no matter what. I'm just glad that we have Danish again. I mean, as far as we can see in here, it seems like a lot of people are actually quite in favor of it.
Yeah.
As far as this conversation here, I can't speak for what's going on in other corners of the Eurovision community. But yeah, I don't know. It was like, it's fun and feel good, and has some layers to it. So it's not a nothing song. So and I already know that Jess is all over this one too. So
yeah, and I think also the fact that it's in Danish will help it stand out amongst all the English songs in the semi-finals.
Yeah. Definitely. Dreadnoughts is saying Fyr Flamme song was actually fun and makes me smile. After hearing the rejected song from Ben and 10, I'm still shocked that it was rejected. So let's talk about this, because we've had somebody mention this as well. For those who don't know, I imagine that most people do, but Ben and 10, who won the Dansk Melodi Grand Prix last year with Yes, had submitted a song to the Danish broadcaster for to be considered again for 2021, and it was rejected. And as such, they released it for other people to hear, and a lot of people had been saying that they felt like this was a stronger song than pretty much all of the songs that were in the Danish selection. And I mean, sometimes this is kind of how these things go, but maybe let's start with you, Jess. How do you feel about Ben and 10 being rejected?
I don't think that the Danish broadcaster handled it the best way that they could. I mean, if we kind of look at other broadcasters, like, I mean, Norway, for example, offered Ulrika a place in the final. We had Estonia and Lithuania, for example, offering their 2020 acts to come back. So initially, the fact that they weren't kind of automatically in the final was a bit of a, okay, maybe they want to not give them one automatic spot and make them work for it like everyone else. But then the fact that they send what I consider to be a very good song, and yet still that doesn't get like accepted into the final, when I think it was maybe stronger than some of the songs we did see in the final, kind of makes me think, okay, is there maybe something more going on to this with like the broadcaster and Ben and Tan? Do they want to have a completely new slate for 2021? I mean, yeah, I'm kind of a bit upset at the way it was handled, but they seem to be doing fine anyway. They have lots of fans, so and I'm sure they'll be back in the future.
Potentially. I mean, I don't know. It sounds like they might have a bit of a sour relationship after what happened. And I suppose the argument, which we've seen at some of the other selections where we've had the 2020 artists come again, the argument that you could make is that they go in with an advantage because they'll be getting automatic pity votes. I don't like phrasing it in that way, but I could see people thinking about it in that context. Úlfar, what are your thoughts on the fact that Ben and 10 were rejected this time around? Oh no! Oh. All right, he's thinking about it. In the meantime, let's see what you guys are saying. Euroboy 4 is asking, are they going to have an official video clip of the song? Good question. I saw yeah, I think this lends itself to a lot of good things visually. And I saw a video clip of another song they did that was actually pretty. It made me have a lot more confidence in how this would do, because they have this like deadpan look to them, and they're playing a funky song. So yeah, I hope that they do have an official video, but who knows? Obviously, unless they already have one in the works, now the focus is on Eurovision, and there might not be that much time to do so. Stephen Kendall, so going back to Ben and 10, says their song was very similar to Say Yes. Maybe the broadcaster wanted a different sound. Potentially, yeah. And it did in some ways feel like a follow-up to that. But yeah, I guess the real question is it more fair to exclude them because of the potential, like, what do you call it? The pity vote factor? Yeah, the potential to win, or should they have at least been granted that opportunity because nobody could have prevented or predicted what happened in 2020, and they did over the audience once. So yeah, I mean, I suppose there's a lot to be discussed in that regard.
But I feel like with Ben and Tan and all the other acts from the other countries that are not coming back, it's not fair on them, because obviously the contest was cancelled out of their control. Like, who could have predicted a global pandemic? Like, it's not their fault they weren't allowed to go. So it's not
Exactly.
fair, in my opinion, that they should have to suffer in this way and not be a part of 2021.
Yeah, I mean, again, there's a lot to be discussed about that. Guys, I think we're going to leave it there. You know, it was a bit of a short program, and I have to say that I like the selections that are kept short and sweet. But thank you all for joining us. There's more happening tonight. We've already seen the selections in Estonia and Denmark. We'll be finding out which of the 10 songs from Portugal will be representing them later on in the evening. And then, of course, we've got the OG Eurovision, which is Sanremo. Lots of great songs in that selection. The winner might not end up going to Eurovision, but obviously it's a great show, and we'd love to have you guys come around and share your thoughts on that. So stick around. If you guys haven't done so already, subscribe to Eurovoxx, because we're covering all the national selections as well as the internally selected songs. Jess, are we at 20 songs now overall for Eurovision?
I think so, around 20 to 21. So roughly
yeah, it might
halfway through.
Last I checked, I think with Australia included, I think it was 19. So yeah, I would say it's definitely at least 21, possibly 22.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, lots more to come, because we're only halfway there, and they're all going to be coming out in such a short period of time. So once again, subscribe to Eurovoxx if you haven't already done so. Be sure to like this video. Leave comments if you're watching this after the fact. What do you think of the winners of Dansk Melodi Grand Prix? How do you feel that they might do in Eurovision? Are you liking the song? What thoughts do you have? Are you wanting justice for Ben and Tan? Let us know all of what you think, and stick around, because we will be back a little bit later tonight. So we will catch you then. Take care, guys.
Bye.